Oh, but Gorman looks too painful. Bix is too vulnerable.
If there's one thing Andor never shies away from, it's the cost of resistance. The middle arc of Season 2, Episodes 4 through 6, strips back any glamour about rebellion and shows us just how deeply personal, political, and painful this war has become for everyone involved. Welcome back to your nerdy show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master. These episodes aren't just about strategy and missions. They're about identity, trauma, moral compromise, and sacrifice. Not in the grand, explosive way Star Wars sometimes portrays, but in quiet moments of emotional wreckage. Let's break it all down.
What's the obsession with Gorman? What are they after?
I don't know. I'm trying to rethink this all with her.
Episode 4. We jump ahead a year after the brutal opening arc. Cassian and Bix are lying low in a Coruscant safe house, and while they may have physically escaped the chaos, the trauma is very much alive. Bix is having nightmares again, not just regular ones, but vivid, haunting flashbacks tied to the torture she endured from Dr. Gorst. Those memories are resurfacing after a recent mission where yet another tortured soul didn't survive, and it's clearly weighing on both of them. Their dynamic has shifted. Cassian tries to comfort her, but it's clear he's still trying to be her protector, something Bix doesn't necessarily want. When she questions his decision to kill a soldier during the mission, things get tense. She suggests he didn't do it for the mission. He did it for her, and that cuts deep. Because she's not wrong. Cassian is driven by guilt, by fear of losing people, especially her, but in trying to shield her from more pain, he might be pushing her away. Meanwhile, Cyril Karn, remember him, the man with one of the most complex arcs in Andor, is now operating a Bureau of Standards field office on Gorman. On the surface, he's just a cog in the bureaucratic machine, but in reality, he's reporting directly to Dedra Meero through a secret communications room. She's using him to keep tabs on Gorman, where rebellion is bubbling just beneath the surface. The Gore people, styled almost like the French Resistance, are at a tipping point. Some want peace, others are ready to fight, and things aren't much better at the ISB. Supervisor Lonnie Jung warns about the system buckling under the weight of arrests and surveillance. Dedra, though, she's still running rogue operations, and that catches Luthen's attention when Jung leaks the info. He decides to send Cassian to Gorman to investigate, and just like that, Cassian and Bix part ways in one of the most understated yet emotional farewells in Star Wars. A silent touch, no words, it says everything. And right at the end, Saw Gerrera pops up again. He receives an explosive device from young Rebel Willman. The fight is escalating, and we can feel the storm building.
What have we ever heard?
Are you done?
Let's put a bug in Davos.
Episode 5. Episode 5 dives deeper into the game of deception happening on Gorman. Cyril Karn's arrest during a staged ISB raid, totally fake. It's all part of an elaborate plan to make rebels think he's one of them. Dedra's playing the long game, and she's doing it well, feeding rebels falsified intel, fake cargo manifests, all designed to test their operations. She's not trying to crush them yet. She's trying to learn how they move, how they think, to build a strategy that can wipe them out completely. And yet, despite all the manipulations, there are real stakes on the ground. The Gorman Rebellion is fractured. Their leader, operating under the cover identity of Carver, a world-famous fashion designer, meets Cassian. It's one of the more creative disguises the show's pulled off. Rebels hiding in plain sight among luxury and vanity. Cassian delivers a rare communication stone from Luthen, giving Carver a direct link to the larger network. Carver drops a bombshell. The Empire is building a secret bunker right in Gorman's town center, a clear violation of their own Imperial charter. Even worse, Carver claims to have a source inside the ISB. Cassian, as always, is skeptical. He's not new to lies, and this mission feels off. But the locals are desperate for guidance. They need someone who knows how to fight, not just how to resist. Back on Coruscant, things get darker for Bix. She confronts Luthen about a mind-altering drug he gave her to help manage the trauma. She wants him to take it back, but Luthen warns her, once you stop, the dreams don't go away. They intensify. He's not being cruel, he's just being honest. And that's always been Luthen's brand of leadership, cold, calculated, necessary. In a parallel thread, Saw Gerrera is slipping further into paranoia. He accuses his own apprentice of spying and executes him right in front of Willman. There's no ceremony, no trial, just cold suspicion and a quick death. Willman is clearly shaken. Saw tells him to breathe it in. as in, this is what rebellion costs. This is the weight you carry. The episode ends with Clea discovering a hidden microphone inside a fake antique, a piece someone named Scholar tried to sell back. It's a breach, and now they've got to retrieve or silence the leak fast.
All this lines we've laid, all this information, the radios, the frequencies.
Episode 6. The fallout begins immediately. Cassian's mission on Gorman didn't go as planned, and now he's back with Luthen, angry and disillusioned. He sees the rebellion on Gorman as chaotic, desperate, and poorly organized, but Luthen doesn't care. He sees opportunity. It'll burn very brightly, he says, a chilling reminder that to him, Gorman is more useful as a symbol than a success. He's playing the long war, and casualties are part of the plan. Cassian returns to Bix. Their reunion is sweet, grounded in real affection, but it doesn't last. She tells him that Luthen visited while he was away. Cassian's furious. It's a breach of trust. He storms into the gallery and confronts Luthen directly. Luthen hits him where it hurts, calling him emotionally weak, a liability. Their alliance is breaking, and Cassian is being pulled in every direction. Loyalty, love, guilt, purpose. But then comes one of the most brutal moments in Andor so far. Bix finds Dr. Gorst, and she doesn't just confront him. She turns his own tactics back on him. She drugs him, restrains him, and tells him it'll only feel like forever. It's poetic justice, but it's also terrifying. We see what trauma has turned her into. And then, in a cathartic release, she and Cassian blow up the building together. It's a trailer moment for sure, but it's earned. This isn't spectacle for its own sake. It's personal. Meanwhile, the Empire's cruelty is institutionalizing. Major Partagaz reports that Gorst's methods are being rolled out across the military. Lonnie Jung, once again playing double agent, feeds this info to Luthen's network. The net is tightening, the surveillance growing. Rebellion is getting riskier by the day. Back on Gorman, Vel arrives with Cinta. Their reunion is tense. Cinta's been through something, an accident that might be tied to Tay Kolma's mysterious death. There's history between them. Love layered with resentment. Commitment tainted by loss. But they move forward. They start planning the heist, and the heist begins well until it doesn't. Drina breaks protocol to help an old woman. That single moment of compassion unravels everything. Lizine tries to intervene. Sam panics. And in the confusion, Cinta is shot and killed, not in a blaze of glory, not with dramatic music, just gone. Vel's reaction, devastating. She doesn't cry. She doesn't scream. She delivers the coldest line of the series. This is like skin. You're taking her with you for the rest of your useless life. It's grief as weapon, and it hits hard. Our nerdy thoughts. This arc is a turning point. It marks a major emotional and ideological shift for nearly every character. For Cassian, it's a loss of control. He's caught between protecting Bix and committing to the rebellion. For Bix, it's revenge, not for justice, but for survival. For Cyril Karn, it's the thrill of control, of finally feeling useful, even if it means playing both sides. And for Luthen, it's another day in the war machine, another fire lit, another pawn sacrificed. But perhaps the most haunting message from these episodes is this: rebellion isn't glorious. It's messy. It's morally murky, and people die, not always for a cause, but sometimes by accident, in the crossfire of something much bigger than themselves. Cinta's death might not make headlines in the Star Wars galaxy, but for Vel, for Cassian, for us, it's unforgettable, because it reminds us that sacrifice isn't always noble. Sometimes it's just devastating. What did you think of this arc? Was Cinta's death too abrupt or brutally honest? And how do you feel about Bix's transformation? Let's talk about it in the comments